everyone, and welcome back to CX Club. I hope you had an absolutely fantastic Christmas, and I'd like to be the first to wish you a very New Year! Thanks, Eddie. As you can see, we've got a brand new logo in the bottom corner, and we've also been able to ascertain who ate all the mince pies. In the last video, I introduced you to the whole idea of CX Club, an interactive session, a series of videos where we talk about customer experience from end to end, not just me talking, but you throwing forward suggestions and comments and ideas as to how we can move that forward. Now, we can't quite get started on that yet, because the first thing we have to do is we have to set the agenda of what's going to happen within these series of videos. And then on the back of that agenda, we'll introduce the first topic, and I'll talk about the subjects within that first topic. I'll throw those open, and then you guys have an opportunity to make comments, questions, etc. before I make an official video about that. So let's go. Okay, so the topics we're going to cover within CX Club in this particular order are, first of all, we're going to talk about CX principles. Now, these are the fundamental truths that underpin the whole subject matter of customer experience, and these apply commonly across every project that I've actually been involved with. Now, I've got some ideas as to what these are. This is the first thing that we're actually going to discuss, but I'd like you guys to throw forward your ideas about other CX principles that I might have missed. Next of all, we're going to talk about leadership immersion. If you don't have your leadership team on board, CX transformation just is not going to happen. Next of all, strategic planning. You have to set yourself objectives, and you have to set yourself a strategic plan as to how you're going to achieve those objectives. So we're going to look at strategic planning as well. Next of all, people and culture. Not only do you need to get your people on board, but you have to keep them on board at the same time. And this isn't done through rah-rah. There has to be serious and concerted effort made in terms of cultural change as well. The next area is customer profiling. So this is about how we identify individual customers through the use of data and other methodologies as well. Next of all, segmentation. So we need to think about groups of customers who behave in similar ways. Now, there's a lot of conversation about personalization. Is there any need for segmentation anymore? Because we can personalize individual experiences. But segmentation isn't about being lazy. It isn't about saying, okay, let's just find 5 or 6 different ways of working according to the 5 or 6 different groups of customers. It's also about branding as well, because customers have to be able to recognize themselves in each other as part of the overall experience. Next of all, persona building. Segments are fantastic, but they need to be evolved into personas, because segments are built on data that you get from profiling, but they don't always tell you the emotional information, which is absolutely essential when we come to trying to understand customers. Next of all, customer journey mapping. This, for me, is the central part of customer experience. And it isn't just about the map, it's also about identifying pain points, moments of truth, wow opportunities and commercial opportunities. And I'll be going through all of that in more depth. Next of all, tactical alignment. Once you've identified all the opportunities and threats that exist for the organization, you have to then get different people within the organization to own those from a transformation perspective. And that's what tactical alignment is really all about. Next of all, transformation. You have to apply these opportunities and these threats, these problems, and you have to go through a process of transforming the business to deal with those particular issues. Branding and communications. Customer experience isn't just about changing the experience, it's also about making a promise. And we do that making of the promise through the branding and communications activities of the organization. And finally, measurement. There's a lot of talk about things like customer satisfaction, but also NPS and other methods like NetEasy and CES. So all of those kind of activities need to be understood as part of the ongoing customer experience management. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the six areas that I'd like to look at in terms of CX principles. First of all, CX isn't something you do. What we mean by this is it's not like all the other functions of the business. All of the other functions of the business are about pulling together to deliver the product or service to the customer. Customer experience is about what the customer experiences. So it's not functional. And we'll go into that in a little bit more depth. CX is not customer service on acid. I once had somebody from the Customer Service Institute using that exact phrase, and that individual was taken to task not just by me but by other people in the room at the time as well, other customer experience professionals. And we're going to discuss what the difference is between customer experience and customer service. This is all about the relationship between customer experience, journeys and stories, how the three of them are linked absolutely 100% to each other. Next of all, the role of the brand. It isn't just about changing the experience, it's all about changing the promise. That is a common truth, and we'll go into that in more depth. I often talk about customer experience being the gap between what the customer gets and what the customer expects, and that relates also to the brand. And then finally, the connection between customer experience and profit, because there is a direct connection between those two things. Okay, so those are the 6 principles. If you've got any others or you've got any questions about these, please fire them forward. I'd like you to share your experiences around these particular areas. That would be absolutely brilliant. So the first CX Club topic is going to be about CX principles, so please throw things forward. We'd really appreciate that. Now, don't forget, first rule of CX Club is talk about CX Club. Second rule of CX Club is talk about CX Club. Now, I hope you don't mind I've tagged everybody who contributed and got involved in the first conversation so we can keep the momentum going on this. Okay, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll be posting another video in a few days' time when you've had a chance to respond to this. Thank you.